Hi everyone, welcome back to Finalizing AI. Today we're going to show you how you can connect LinkedIn, Chatgpt, and Zapier. So I know we've gone over in other videos how to use Chatgpt alone. Of course, we all know how to use LinkedIn. and then we looked at how we could use LinkedIn and Chatgpt. And now we're going to look at the piece that I find the most valuable with all of these generative AI tools is the automation piece. And personally, I like to use Zapier. So there are many tools out there. There's Make and there's some others that do similar things, or if this, then that, if you're familiar with that. But I really like Zapier. I feel like it's got over 5,000 native integrations. And what I mean by native integrations, meaning that it's built in and I can just click and it does it all for me. So I like the simplicity there. You could go to Make and do most of the things that I'm going to show you today. However, you will have to create some of your own API connections, but we'll do that in another video. But for today, we're going to go over LinkedIn, Chatgpt, and Zapier and how you can make the three work together. So let's get started. All right, let's get started connecting Zapier, Chatgpt, as well as our LinkedIn so that it'll automatically post for us. So let's get started. The first thing you're going to want to do is go out to OpenAI. Right here, I'm going to say OpenAPI, and you're going to set up an account. So I've already set one up for myself here. And first thing, it's a free account to set up, but you do have to enter in a credit card because with this process, what you are doing is creating your own API. So think of it as your own phone line. And if you remember cell phones, like you get charged by the minute in the very beginning, if you remember that far back, this is the same concept. You're getting charged by usage. However, I do want to show you that the usage that I've been using, and I'm going to go into my personal information here so that you can see. Let me see my usage. I'm going to go into my personal API keys. I'm going to look at my usage here. And for September, I have been playing with Chatgpt and Zapier and all that stuff. And you can see on the 4th, I had several go out and it cost me a penny. So not terribly expensive. I did put limits in my account and I would recommend you do the same. What I did was my rate limits. I went in here and I told it that, here's the rates. And you can see like Chatgpt 3.5 is significantly less than if you go over here and you can see that Dolly is more expensive, as well as some of the Whisper and some of that stuff. So, the more advanced the tool is, so as you use the turbo and the more advanced features, you are getting charged more. So my personal opinion is if the lowest version will do it, then I let it. If there's a need to go up, I do. So it depends on the content. So that's a judgment call for you. But I also set in here in my billing that I only wanted to, I put usage limits and I set monthly usage limits and I set $120. So it will just stop if it goes over $120. Current usage is a penny. So I think I'm doing okay. We're only about 8 days into the month. So let's see. So you get the idea here, but you do need to set up this account. So once you have the account set up, then you can go over to your personal information here. You can view your API keys and we're going to fuzz all those out for you here. But we're going to create a new secret key. And so I'm going to go ahead and delete this guy right here. I'm going to revoke that key because I used it in one of my videos, but we're going to create a new one. And so you're going to need an API key. So go ahead and create a secret key. And you can call this key anything you want. I'm going to call this Zap Test 1. And I'm going to create that secret key. And it's going to pop out a secret key for me. And what that is that's basically your secret code that connects you to your API, which is going to be like your phone line, right? So it keeps up with your usage. So this is just your phone number, if you think of it that way. So you don't want to hand it out so everybody can use it. You want to make sure you keep it super secret, but you can use it. So copy that, and I'm going to click done. So we're done. And then I'm going to go back out of OpenAPI because we don't really need to be in there anymore. So now we're going to go over here to Zapier. So Zapier, Zapier.com. Amazing. All right, so you can sign up for a free account here. You can just click this Start with Google or email, however you'd like to do that. I've already got an account, so I'm going to just log in, and I'm going to use my Google account. I really like this tool a lot. So definitely something that I'm paying for. However, this is the free account because I wanted to be able to show you, you get 5 free a month. So if 5 will do you, then you may just start with 5. And then if you need to upgrade, you upgrade if you see value in that. I see tremendous value in this tool. I'm a big fan. So that's my take on it. So if you go over here to my Zaps, I want to show you how I did this. So I have a few of them in here. You can turn them off or on. But what a Zap is, it's a task. So what I'm trying to do here is I want to tell it that on every day, I want you to go out to Chatgpt. I want you to create the content. Then I want you to come back into Zapier and I want you to go into my LinkedIn account and post that content in the format I say onto LinkedIn. And that's what I want you to do each day. So what Zapier does, and Zapier itself is not an AI tool. Zapier is a workflow tool that allows you to say, if this happens, then I want you to do this. And we all make those decisions each day, right? You're coming into traffic and you're like, oh, I'm going to go around that. I'm going to do the back roads. Those are the types of decisions that we make each day. But think about something a little less complex than that when you're talking about like sending emails or, automating, emails to about a holiday or even like daily LinkedIn post, something that I myself put to the back burner. And sometimes it gets way, way back there on the to-do list. It's not pertinent to my job. So sometimes it just doesn't happen. What if I could automate that? That would be really useful to me. And that's where I think that Zapier and integrating tools with AI. So like I said, Zapier is not an AI tool itself, but it has AI integrations. And that is phenomenal. Like there are like 5,000 of them, which I haven't even gotten close to the bottom of that. But we're going to try. We're going to get there. And I'm going to show you a lot of things you can do with Zapier. There are other tools out there that will let you use them less expensively, like Make. My biggest downfall with Make is that you have to create the API connections for a lot of tools. They aren't natively integrated, but that's an option as well. So if you're looking for a budget-friendly option, I always like to throw those out there because I'm a budget-friendly person. All right, so let's get a look at the Zap that I created here, and we're going to go. And this is my daily LinkedIn post. So what we did here is the first thing you have to do, and you're just going to click Create a New Zap, and you're going to want to create a trigger. So it's going to come up here, and what we chose on this is it's going to come up and say, all right, what do you want to do? So you've got, these are the 5,000 native apps. So you can go ahead and type in whatever you want. It'll pull up Chatgpt, chatbots, you name it. It's got it in here, right? ServiceNow, if you use that, if I spell it right. Jira, look at that. All kinds of stuff in there. So what we want to do is on this one, first thing we want to do is schedule it. We want to tell it what is the trigger that is going to make it happen. And for us, it's just the day, the change in the day and time. So we're going to say scheduler, and we want to do it every week. All right. But I could do it daily. So I could say every day. And if I say every day, I have to tell it what time of day. So then it's going to be like, okay, well, if you want to do it every day, then yeah, I want to do it on weekends too and choose the time of day I want to be on there. Let's see. What do you think? Maybe 8 a.m. Sounds good to me. 7 a.m., 2 a.m. You can really pick whatever works for you. All right. Then we're going to continue. And so through all these, we want to make sure that we're getting these green checks because the green check is telling you that, yes, it works. And the worst thing for a programmer, so you're going to test the trigger, is to get all the way to the end. And then you're like, it doesn't work. You have to go back. So we're preventing that today. All right. So then it pulls out this information and says, all right, the hour, the minute, the time, the second. All right. Continue. It's doing what we want it to do. All right. So we're going to continue. And it's going to say, all right, connect to your Chatgpt account. So I'm going to, actually I have 2 accounts here, but I'm just going to connect to my Chatgpt account. There you go. It's good. Continue. And then it's going to come in here and say, what action do you want to take? So this is the part that gets a little tricky here. So what I've got here is essentially, when you think of it, and I pulled this in a Word document so that you could see it well, is we've got the content here is you want to say, think of it as 3 main parts. This is the content. So this is who you are and what you're asking. This is how you want it to behave and what you want it to do. And this is the viral post is a variable we've given it where we said, okay, we reference this viral post up here, And then we said, this is the viral post, and we put that in brackets because it's instructions and we don't want it to repeat. And then we went over here and we said details about how I want you to format it. So I want you to keep the structure of the post. Also, the length should be about the same as the original post. So I'm going to copy all this. Now, ChatGPT does not do the bold, but I did that so that for clarity there. So if you think of it as 3 pieces, right? The content, and really you could get rid of this middle piece here, the example, but I like to have the example because I want it to write in that format. And if you're trying to get it to sound like you, that's a good way to do it, right? Put a post in there. It doesn't necessarily have to be a viral post. As I said, 3.5 can't go out to internet, so it doesn't actually know if it's a viral post or not. But the reference is the same, right? I want it to be a very popular post. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go back over here to my Zapier account here, maybe, if I hit the right button. All right, and so what I've done is I'm going to paste that in. All right, so we're going to take this whole thing, and you can do as much or as little details as you want. So I'm going to paste that in. I want you to, write a post, and so I put a viral post in there. It's got lots of emojis in it. Keep the length. It should be about the same. And so in theory, it should write me another post similar to this one about empowering women in technology, breaking the barriers and shattering the ceilings. So I'm a big proponent of women in technology, advancing others, helping bring people up with you. So let's see what it's got going on there. And we're going to call this, give it a memory key. So I'm going to leave it at ChatGPT 3.5 like we talked about before, because when I ran this earlier in the month, it cost me a penny. So it is 100% worth a penny for me to do this. So then I'm going over here and I'm going to say, all right, well, I also want to give it a memory key. Now you can make this memory key anything you want. I just put in there, we can call it linked in daily posts, women in tech. All right, there we go, women in tech. So what this memory key does is up in here, you told when you were in the ChatGPT piece, you told it do not repeat content. So in order for ChatGPT to know not to repeat content, it has to know what it wrote in the past, right? Because in theory, it doesn't know, and it could potentially give you repeating content because it's just using the same data set. So what we did is then we said, okay, well, there's a memory key, right? So remember who you are. That's your memory key, right? And remember what you've posted in the past and don't repeat that. So very important when you're posting on LinkedIn, especially if you want it to look authentic. All right, the username, we just put user, assistant name, assistant. Those aren't really relevant. You can change them if you really feel like it. I just usually leave them. And assistant instructions. You are an AI influencer who posts educational content on LinkedIn. So that is what we also wrote that inside our ChatGPT post, but we also put it in here too because we want to make sure that that gets across to the chatbot in ChatGPT that is the representation we want and the style. I leave the max at 250, temperature at 1, and top P. So temperature, you could go, so the higher the number, the more serious it is. So the number should be between 0 and 2. So it's like the difference between saying, hey, bruh, and hello, how are you, right? Hey, bruh might be like a 0.2, right? Hello, how are you probably is a 2, right? It's more formal. So if you think about temperature, it's how serious or casual you want things to be. So 1's pretty good. That's right in the middle. It's LinkedIn. We can go with that. So we're going to click continue and it's going to give us a mod. So now it's going to say, all right, here is what we've got, what we gave it. And then we're going to look at the response. So it came out paving the way of a new era of work. Embracing AI can lead to human content. Let's say we can read through this. Looks like it's got power of AI lies. And so I don't know that it necessarily focused on women in this. So, but it did focus on, let's see. And it gave me a few little, all right. So that looks pretty good to me. So, like when we go down here, we're like, okay, well, let's see. Embracing AI. All right, so, I think that's okay. So we're going to click continue, but you can piddle with it until you get it the way you like. Personally, I would go over to ChatGPT and piddle with it there before you piddle it with it in here, so you get it the way you want. So I've already done that. So I've already gone over to ChatGPT and I've already put in my stuff and found it the way I wanted to pull out information. So then I'm going to create a shared update. So then the event I want to do is when I click event, sorry about that. So now that you've got your ChatGPT doing everything you want it to do, right, we're good to go there. So then we click continue and we're going to go on to the next step. So you're going to click this plus thing and you're going to click add a step. We're going to call it LinkedIn. All right, you're going to select LinkedIn. So I've actually already done that. So I'm going to delete this guy right out of here. And so we've got LinkedIn here. So I can change this and make it a different one, but I like that. So what I want to do as my event is I want to share a LinkedIn update. And I'm click continue, and again, I got my check mark, so that's good. I always click the continue down here. We can go down here and we can say reply to. And so what I really want in here is when you clicked on this guy right here, what I want is the comment it's going to make is the reply. So if we delete that out of here, I'm going to click on this guy. You have to click off and back on, and I'm going to expand the ChatGPT piece because I don't need the scheduler, but I did create content. So I want to go down here until I see my reply. And then that reply is what it's going to put it into my LinkedIn profile, which is great. So I'm going to go X that. So I got my reply. So that's what I wanted it to do. So I wanted ChatGPT to generate that content for me. I'm going to put it in there. I want to make it sure that that is what we want. And so I've already verified that because I tested it out in my ChatGPT. I'm going to make it visible to anyone. You can add a title here if you want, but you don't have to. Description, image URL, content URL. So you can add in more details, if you want. For right now, we're just going to do text. We're not going to worry about the images. So we're going to keep it simple today. We're going to test this step. And it should go through. From time to time, I do get an error. And if you do get an error, you can troubleshoot that. But it should tell you, what the issue is. All right, that looks good. So we're going to publish it. All right, it's publishing. It's done. And I do not want to upgrade my plan right now because I've got free trials going on. So then we go over here, and then if my LinkedIn profile, so if you just click on me, yay, that's me. If I just clicked on my LinkedIn feed and I click on myself, it should pull it up, but actually it won't pull it up, and I just realized I set the time on it. So here we go. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it did put it in there. No, you're wrong. All right, so you can see it's paving, and so it created a post. So this is a live post, and you can go out there and look at it and like. And so it created emojis, and it's got all kinds of stuff in there. Now, I can fiddle with that and do whatever I like, but pretty cool, huh? All right, so now when I go back to, and so since this is the only one I have today, I'm going to go back over here to my billing and my usage because I want to know, how much money did I spend on that, right? Well, it's a fraction of a penny, so it doesn't even have it in there. So I'm a fraction of a penny on today. So I used a penny on September 4th when those went off, and then today's was a fraction of a penny. So, like I said, it may be worth it to you if it's only a difference between a fraction of a penny or a penny to go to 4. Just play around with the content, like I said, on ChatGPT. Once you get it the prompt the way you want it, then you can come out here to Zapier and automate things. And that's how you use ChatGPT, Zapier, and LinkedIn together to automate your daily posts. Now, maybe you don't want daily posts, you want weekly posts, monthly posts, whatever you'd like. Imagine being able to use this for your philanthropy. Maybe you're on a board or a volunteer organization, and you can get a little more traction for their sites by posting. Those are options and things that you could do. There are endless potential with Zapier, and we're going to get into more of that. But for right now, we're going to end here. But let me know what you think. Did you get confused? Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll stay on top of it and make sure to answer whatever I can. If you'd like to see more, let us know that too. Zapier, like I said, there's 5,000 integrations, native integrations, so we could do days and days with this. So have a good day, and I hope you enjoyed.